So do you ever get a job that you just have this feeling that something's going to go wrong? Well, I had a bid a few months ago. It was actually from a friend, and they had this enormous, it's probably the biggest black oak I've seen up here growing over their house. This tree was enormous, and normally a tree goes more like this. This tree was going like this, straight out, all over the place. Massive big tree. And I could see that it had been trimmed multiple times in the past, and there was a lot of wounds, and there was a big decay pocket at the base. And I just shook my head and I thought to myself, I don't want to do this job. Something was telling me I don't want to do it. But I didn't tell these people no. I didn't say no, I wouldn't do it. I procrastinated. I was too busy. A lot of stuff went on. And they didn't call me back, so I thought, okay, well, they found somebody else. Well, then something happened. Come on, let me show you the story. First part of this video is the evening of the disaster. Second part is the job. It's a tough one. Barbara!
Hi!
What the?
Yeah, remember we wanted a tree lightened up a little while ago?
Man, you need more than that. I'm sure glad I wasn't up there.
Yeah,
the whole tree, it looks like the whole tree went down.
The whole thing, yeah. And actually, what's most concerning is there's a big stump leaning against the side of the kitchen.
All right, let's go take a look at it.
There's a hole in the kitchen.
Is David here?
Yeah.
Holy crap. This thing was huge. The whole tree split. What a ticking time bomb this thing was. They got so lucky. God. Look at the size of this thing. The whole thing split out. Boy, talk about luck. It caused some damage, but boy, it could have just ripped the whole house down.
No, we got so lucky.
Good God.
We got so lucky.
So yeah, David said that he thought that the kitchen hole got bigger overnight. So.
But, yeah, but then I don't think it has since then. Now, does this kind of rot, is that something to do with sudden oak?
No.
No.
Well, it had
No.
one thing on the top.
All of this internal decay right here was from a split that happened a long, long time ago, and then it just sort of opened up and then came back, and water seeped inside. When you see a lesion like that, it's really, really hard to predict something like that.
Wow.
It also looks like there was an old wound up there.
Yeah, look, somebody took a thing off and it never really healed.
Yep.
I was worried about that, but,
Oh, man. No, any amount of weight reduction would not have made this tree safe.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel so much better. Thank you.
No, I mean,
It's really huge.
no, because the weakness down here
It was right here.
would not, it
Well,
was,
look at that hole there. My goodness.
it's totally rotten. Oh my God. Get some good damage up here.
And then this morning I heard a chunk and it went there, but it hasn't gone anywhere since. And then that.
And it didn't even break the window.
Well, it did look up just a little.
Well, that's going to be hard to replace.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's actually just a big piece of plexiglass, that thing.
You know,
that did break.
that does look like plexiglass.
Yeah, I think that's why it hasn't broken in all these years, because stuff bounces off it.
Oh my God. You got so lucky. So you ever play Jenga? How about pickup sticks? A lot of times these big failures, all the pressure is completely different than if you were to take it down from a standing situation. When you have loaded limbs that are pushing down hard, especially if there's got a big trunk, everything is backwards, everything is pushing down. So if you make your cuts from the top the wrong way on the wrong branch, you can have instantly, it'll grab your saw, it'll bite down and pinch it.
Now you can pull it even with the fingers.
Good.
See? Here?
Yeah. Had to replace the compression release on this thing. You got it choked?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. It's like a motorcycle. Yeah. You know, when you got a big log that's got pressure on it, you got to do an undercut from the bottom first. But on this one, I wanted it to open up, so I put a wedge in there first. I probably should have pulled the wedge out of there. In hindsight, it's easy to say, well, I should have, would have, could have, but I didn't. But the thing about when you're running a great big saw, you've got a heavy thing that you're pulling up that's running fast, and to quickly pull it out of the way when the log gives loose is sometimes you'll get your saw caught when it falls. You just can't pull it out of there fast enough. So I generally switch to a smaller saw. Now this tree was way rotten. There was so much white rot and brown rot, and there was decay from an old wound. I was blown away that the tree looked as healthy as it did. The tree was fully leafed out, and the wood up high was incredibly heavy. The branches were all sound. All the trunk limbs were sound. All the rot was right at the base. The first, 5 or 6 feet from the ground up, it was just totally shot. So the tree had an incredible amount of water weight in it, and then suddenly the weather changed and it got hot, and it was a recipe for disaster. The whole thing exploded. I asked the guy who lives there what it was like. He thought he was having an earthquake. Hit the house really hard, and he said it shook the whole house. I'll bet it shook the whole house.
Yeah. Oh, I heard it.
It's through. It's just wedged in there. I should have popped that wedge out of there before it closed. It's all the way through.
Just stand on it.
There it goes.
All right.
Go down. Good shot. Now the other one's going to be a bitch.
The other one we're going to need to do with the tractor.
Yeah. So Jorge says that there's a piece that speared the solar panel, and it's in there, and if we try to drag it off, it might drag the whole solar system off because they're all connected. So we're going to try and see if we can cut a big chunk of wood off of there and get it past where the puncture is. We still got to slide that thing over the top of the solar panel and off the edge of the roof. Boy. I think I need to get all this crap out from underneath it first, because if I don't get this stuff out from underneath it and this thing rolls, I won't be able to move it.
Why do you need to move it?
Because I want to get everything as far back as possible, so when this thing hits this log, actually we probably have to cut the log, and then when we cut it, we can...
Now, it seems like if we could cut it right here, and then cut it right here,
Yeah,
then I think it'll be clear.
probably, because this is going to fall over this way. But what I'm saying is, if I don't get these out of here first,
How are we going to get those out of there, though?
how?
Yeah, there's
Just cut them over here, and drag them out with a Bobcat.
okay.
Because if those are still in our way, and this is down here, then we'll have these things in front.
Well, I don't see those being a problem. I think basically we just need to get this big piece out over here.
I just don't want this to hit a log and then kick back up through the window when we pull it down.
I think it will.
Undercut this big guy over here somewhere. I'd go further out. That's too big a cut. One more over here. Oh. All right, let me go get the Bobcat and I'll lift all that up.
Okay.
Just hold on to the saw.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to
I did.
shift like that. I thought it was going to go open up more.
All right, this is the last cut of the day, or actually the last pull of the day. It was kind of hard because I had the rope at such a steep angle and I was pulling down on it. This log was wedged on a beam here and I tried pulling and I couldn't budge it. So I put the bucket up in the air, and as I was pulling, it was actually pulling the bucket over. And you know, at one point it dropped to the ground and I had to use the bucket to push myself back up. But I knew I needed the bucket up high. So I kind of put it up there and gave a few little bumps, and then finally, but I had to keep pulling to get it to come all the way down, because if it would have bounced back in, it would have hit the windows. All in all, the job worked out good. It would have been really easy to make things a lot worse. As you see, I moved all the logs before I made that final cut. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to my channel and like it if you can.